This mega pop.
Absolutely.
This is our new baby.
Yeah?
Which is to get down to Hong Kong duty free. I wish.
Wait for the mentally married for 50 years.
We would.
Oh, God. Is it worth it?
Yeah.
I haven't been here twice in January.
You would actually start.
And I just don't know what I would do here.
What's it? Oh, yeah.
It was salad.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, take it here. Then here's I'll have apple rhubarb truffle. Thank you. I'll have patience. Thank you.
Oh, that's right.
Just like dentists. What?
But what was right after?
How'd you make it? Jane with oysters. What did you have?
Love that. No, that's it. Around more school, everything like that.
We've been photogenic. Our citizens are stubborn. Yeah. Let's take up here. Just be careful of hearing this element. But what's going on? It's more than power.
I'm not right.
That's enough. Bye. Love you, guys.
Kelly said, damn, it's so shit.
You thought I was trouble. That's from the We've got some writing on it.
I can't read the minute.
What do you want?
Just a thing.
You want it for you. What happened? Did you say that? Tuesday, the local party. Yes, I am. I'm down at the park. It's going to be about time.
Yeah, I'm sorry. That's
don't itch.
Was that
What's what I kind of watch. What if you were from Scat? And it is a rabbit.
probably was. What do you say?
Just
This is the new camera.
got another Malay cup of They're winners, aren't they, Jay?
I was against, I must admit, I was against it. But there, I agree. It's a change, it's a complete change of culture.
Well, and they're winning. They're winners still. And Dad. Oh, I've always been a Donny's Oh, absolutely Dad, Donny's place. But Dad, is it better to win than lose? Life is a rich and
Because I love winning, I hate it. But I love them.
This is how the team. Jobs around us. Jobs around.
You don't want me yelling to them.
Like a full bit of a truck.
Go, Gravy, let's go, Gravy.
Oh, so good.
Go, Gravy.
Are you Mark? Yeah, I'm Mark.
See what the baby's here. Oh, isn't that
Come on.
Oh, such a
Right, you're going to go take some cheese with it.
He's one that if he's got a red light. Yeah, was he talking it to us?
Wake up.
Things relationships and those breakouts go.
It's fair to say, there's when the father showed his eyes that way.
Oh, sorry.
That's right.
I can't even do that.
Not too old, but
I was being kept
But it just was thought that.
I didn't like straight.
Stay there, you make it lovely fish.
He's going to catch you. They did. That chickpea stuff. She did a whole lot. So she did Josie So what if I was up in I mean, there's no big effort to read. You will understand the story one day. Children of your own, you start with my old boys, or did you not have any? It's right. I'm just like, you have more of that. It's right. Gotta go do my lips. I think it's kids. Lad says, and you can't sleep now. Now, I'd like to start a formal procedures. Proceedings. We will be celebrating their 50th. But it's Susan and Rui's 11th wedding anniversary tonight.
Oh, great.
Like fire song.
Well, I know it's working, that's you.
Now, we've got a number of people who we want to say a few words tonight, and we're going to start, we're going to do it in age order. We're almost in age order. We're going to start with age, go down a bit, and then with a back up a little bit. And I would like to invite Uncle Jim to make the first speech. Thank you.
oh, I hope you're still clapping at the end of the speech.
Jim. That's me.
Shortly.
Done. You've done that. It's here.
Call upon you for that little instrument.
Which?
If we have a beer. Oh. What a night. 50 years of marriage and togetherness. And I've got to look back now, it's one of the original wedding party, and the brother of the chief out here, Robert.
Correct.
And, you know, here's this hero of Tobruk. He's been through the siege of Tobruk, the Battle of Alamein, Finchhaven, the struggle of Finchhaven. So, as later on, we went, been through the lot, and he decides, down to the army 5 minutes, and he takes on another one. The greatest struggle. Can you imagine? You'd think you'd have more brain, wouldn't you? But no. But on reflection, because Helen was a member of the Royal Australian Air Force. And I suppose you can say that during the war there were many successful combined operations between the Army and the Air Force. But perhaps none have been more successful. The combined operation of Helen and Bob. They have, well, won't say good years, but they have a wonderful family. They have 4 beautiful daughters, and they have given them a heritage and a love and affection which are so obvious in their life, and they have transferred it to you, and you're very fortunate people, and I know that you're very aware of this. Would you mind now if I refer to my notes? The wedding itself was a very happy affair. At St Michael's at Bulkley's. Everyone was in their refinery. The parents, very fine and dignified people they were. The wedding party, I must say, we sort of gave it a little bit of additional refinement later. And everything went according to procedure. And the wedding reception itself was magnificent.
Where at?
Radcliffe at Vaucluse, of course. Nothing less. Sort of similar environment which we have tonight. And as best man, I have certain obligations to fulfill. And one must to protect, maintain the dignity of the occasion. You know, with my background, I'm fully quite but I'll never forget, as the guests were about to be seated, they very dignified and tall, the Brandlive, a platoon of the 2nd 17th Infantry Battalion had been celebrating the nuptials quite early. I think there wasn't a pub in Vaucluse, but there was one at Rose Bay. And they decided that they weren't going to let their comrade get married and sort of lose the bachelor ranks without their support. And they decided that they would attend and give Bob and Helen the hardest sport. So I'm there, and the guests about to sit, and I've got all these, I've got to do. I said to Bob, he said, get Broadbent, Brigadier Broadbent, Bob, the Battalion Commander, was the guest of his wife. And he said, get Broadbent.
As a man.
No, I went and got Broadbent. The board, but what's the problem? I said, I said, they're very welcome, but there's no seats. They're not invited. So Broadbent been out and he marched him out the door with a little bit of physical assistance. They were obliged to go. You know, they wasn't altogether voluntary, you know. And I think probably it went down as the first wedding that ever held a military parade, you know, a voluntary military parade, this wasn't cooked up. And it ended in the great parade of ex-soldiers being marched out the door of the Radcliffe.
Like that.
But the night itself, which was a magnificent affair. There was dancing and gaiety, so forth. And there are not many people that take the vows to each other to love and cherish and survive. Bob and Helen have done this. Because one of the original parties of the wedding party, I can assure you now, that the love and affection they have for each other has not diminished over the years. In fact, I think great tradition of the pools and the rays right through, because your parents and Helen, your parents, were very, very fine people of great moral character, kindness and so forth. And it's a great honour to be here tonight to celebrate with all you people their 50th wedding anniversary. I think it's called golden. It certainly is golden. And we are all very proud of both you and Bob. But there's one thing that I'd like to inform all the young people here about as a secret. It's not often disclosed as a secret, but it is very important for all your aspirants that want to be married for 50, 60, 70, 80 years. That's a little device. That's a little device. Some people call this a treasure. This little beauty is a marriage saving device. Any time, no, like it's not funny. Well, the only reason I'm telling you about it because I know that you'd all want to buy one. But you can go to Bob and Helen any Saturday And you can say Bob there.
We've got it.
And look, Helen, I congratulate on your students, your perception. You brought, particularly if you're very keen on football or Flemington. Now, you can spend Saturday in complete peace. All you've got to do is plug the devices into the ear, and you can talk it. He looks at you, and there's no talking. And for all sorts of things. Like he said. Yes, and it's, this, he looks at you with this look of devotion, love, and so forth. And then the only thing that's embarrassing is you've got visitors or guests. And this thing goes, come on the door! Or Friday I finished the program. You bloody dirty! This is the hell of a... that silence. Loving wife. You think there's always thanks in it, but it's not. Some bloke looks some bloke called Whitton.
Shaggy, but
That's the way. Now look, all you young people that
it's like the thank you, it's cool. Okay, Sui, great. That was a good question. We know really hard to follow, but I know you do a good job. I like Jim, I need my notes. Hello, Mr. Public Speaking. Mum and Dad have reached a remarkable milestone in this day and age. We feel very fortunate to have been part of such a close and loving family. Mum and Dad often said the only things they argued over were money and children. With regard to their children, Dad always says, Helen, if you're not worrying about one, you're worrying about the other. Mum and Dad have been superb role models for us girls in terms of the importance of marriage and family. The early years, when every Christmas we would all go home to Sydney. The sense of family was continued with our wonderful times at Red Hill, the grandchildren being an integral part of this. Even their move to Brighton was made in order for them to be well positioned for all their children, and nothing at all to do with me nagging at them incessantly. 50 years ago, upon marrying, Mum left the workforce and devoted her days to Dad. Dad would leave for the office and Mum would tidy up, to the extent where she would wash Dad's shaving brush and sit it in the sun to dry. Things have slowly changed, but in the last few years, Dad has become the bargain hunter. He has a very keen eye for the prices on tins of salmon. He's become a cook extraordinaire, often found these days with his nose in a stick in his cookbook. But can he cook a roast like Helen? No. Basically though, a very traditional couple with their main focus being their children. And that's why we are so perfect. But now for some highlights to dispel that myth. Elizabeth the eldest and the apple of their eye. In her younger days, close your ears, boys, she had a number of young men throwing themselves at her.
Obviously.
One memorable occasion was Mum and Dad driving off hurriedly to Ocean Grove, a 2-hour drive from Melbourne, where she was teaching at the time, to resolve a dispute between two ardent admirers. Shan't mention the length of hose. No. Who'd have daughters, and before at that. In the time at Red Hill, on the first Saturday of each month, the 4 girls would rise early and head off excitedly to the Red Hill market to return laden with little pots of herbs to be planted in respective gardens. And each year Mum and Dad would shake their heads, and sure enough, a couple of weeks later would be row upon row of little pots with dead herbs. Elizabeth would like me to make mention of the times when their love and assistance has been paramount, and those long weeks she spent in hospital before James was born, and recently during her bout of pneumonia, when they were there proffering bowls of homemade pea soup and loving assistance. And dear Jennifer, at one stage in her youth, Jen had a penchant for bright blue eyeshadow. She would sit at the breakfast table next to Dad, who was unable to eat his hot cooked breakfast because the sight of the eyeshadow made him bilious. Her weirdo boyfriend, who turned out to be her fine upstairs. I'm not the...
No comment.
Helen said she loved you, boy.
Bye, Bet.
Michael, some of us do, mate.
Lynn's wanted me to mention all the time she and her friends would go to dances, and how Dad would be the only father who would volunteer to do the midnight run. Perhaps this was preferable to Mum and Dad lying awake, Mum jabbing Dad in the rib. Home yet, Bob? Dad pretending he wasn't concerned, but much relieved to hear the car pull up in the driveway.
He's rubbing his hands.
We have had a huge amount of fun over the years. For instance, one Christmas morning many years ago, the 4 girls converged on a darkened living room to be overjoyed to discover a monster-sized record player cum radio unit. From that time on, the music blared, the window shook to the dancing, and the neighbourhood was treated to renditions of hits such as Ba 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 and then came Judah. Sweet, blonde, strange, but only as a child, that is. Jude took great delight in smashing Mum's china in the bath, pulling Christine's hair out in great chunks. I'm sorry. And on train trips from Gordon to Vaucluse on weekends, respond to people's well-intentioned comments on her childish charms by poking out her tongue. Many boyfriends came and went, and they, along with their sisters' boyfriends, would receive the same cold, stony treatment. The few that persevered, if they weren't dumped along the way, would be slowly welcomed into the family, but only after they had married his precious daughters. Mum, however, was always charming and friendly to them, so that was perhaps the saving grace to us girls.
Yeah.
Or was it? Then they...
Refuting Judith's mad ravings, Mum and Dad vowed and declared I was not a mistake, even though I was born 6 years after Judith. Mum always said I was a pleasant surprise. Though she may have questioned this a few times. But being the youngest, it was my right to be spoiled. So of course I got whatever I wanted. And this included a horse, the beloved Crow. I wasn't one of those.
Oh, for example.
Yes, that's the planet.
Okay.
Years.
I busted.
Hey!
You did well.
It's still running late. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Two more phrase.
Nice.
With that, I must make mention of Amber, the family for too many years. Thanks to her, Dad spent many sleepless nights listening to her howl at the moon. We would hear him get up, a thump, a yelp, and then silence. The effect of the rolled up newspaper only lasted so long, however. Thanks to Amber, Mum watched the top of her finger roll across the floor. And of course the ducks, the roll of the ducks. Mum having to take a broom with her to the clothesline, the danger from being attacked by those vicious birds. Mum and Dad have always been there, above and beyond the call of duty. Always unconditional love. We all enjoy going home, not just because they are our parents and Dad making a mean gin and tonic, but because they are great company and great fun. We have been extraordinarily fortunate.
Now, so the younger men and family, Alice and James, so
Mine's not quite as funny as the last two, I'm sorry. Nanny and Pa mean many different things to each and every one of the grandchildren. The older grandchildren will remember the times we had at Red Hill, the bike track we built, the cubby house Michael and Dad built, the cricket matches, and looking for Easter eggs on Easter morning. My specific memories include playing war at Red Hill with Pa and being bowled out by a lily or a googly in cricket. I can remember Natty always caring for me when I was sick and always fussing over us. Andrew can remember playing Monopoly, Pine Avenue walks, and walking to the shops to get an Eskimo pie. Josie thinks of Nanny and Pa as kind and loving, and Nanny always giving her treats. Robert likes hearing Pa's war stories, and especially the one about him being shot in the bottom. Nanny is always nice to him and always gives him a big hug and a kiss. I think the one thing that is consistent with all the grandchildren is they all love Nanny's vegetable soup. And Pa's big hook behind it. Anna will now tell us some of the memories of the other grandchildren.
James, Andrew, Sophie, Sarah, Jane, Josephine, Georgina, Robert and myself. I'm indeed extremely fortunate to have such wonderful grandparents. Nanny and Pa, you believe in us. You have encouraged us. You treat us individuals, but at the same time, equally. For each grandchild, there's a special memory of Nanny and Pa. Sarah always remembers that when they stay with Nanny and Pa are always there to greet the family. Jane thinks the piles of salmon sandwiches that Nanny makes are special. While Georgina loves the hot bars she doesn't get at home. Sophie believes that Nanny and Pa have a genuine concern for and interest in our well-being and happiness. While I shuddered it when Sophie and I gave our endless singing and dancing routines and trips, and never once did Nanny and Pa complain. Such a memory of Dipsy.
I would like to now call on that for a huge proposer toast for Mum Day. Right.
Excellent.
I will do this and I'll just preface my remarks by saying that we've heard some wonderful offerings from you people in relation to Bob and Helen tonight. I can see from what you've said that their marriage has been a profound success, and I trust so have everybody. I know there's one little link missing in this story, and that is, how did the army get in contact with the air force? It's a mystery. The mystery was solved after Helen overcame her insatiable desire when she was young to become a ballet dancer. And something that she used to practice incessantly.
He used to throw books at me.
I had to look after himself, didn't I? She then became a dental nurse and joined the Air Force in that capacity. And one of her great friends in the Air Force was Dorothy Ray. And that is the missing link tonight, I regret to say. She was not able to be with us, but her loving daughter is with us tonight. From what you've all said and from what we all know, their marriage has been a very happy one, and I trust they will go on for many more years to come. Now I'll ask you if you'll see that your glasses are charged and you'll be upstanding. We'll drink to the health of Helen and Bob. To Helen and Bob.
Helen and Bob.
They have many more happy years.
Sacred.
Your passion.
Nature.
But that's present. Like, thank you.
Years ago, today, I suppose with 2 or 3 hours to the time, exact time, I got up and said the words I suppose millions of bridegrooms have said, on behalf of my wife and I, and I'm going to say the same tonight, on behalf of her and myself, we, and it's a we now, it's been for 50 years, we have got a few things to say. Before we go on to the responses to the lovely wording that have been said tonight, I think there are a few notes that have got to be said. First of all, there are 2 very dear people to us that are not here tonight, and the name I refer to, Dorothy and Betty. But there we are. Always thanks for the events like this. I can go back to couple of years ago, I think it was 2 or 3 years ago, so one night, out of the blue, all the family were there, but gee, this is going to be an important 5 years or 6 years, from 1955 to the year 2000. We've got all sorts of events coming up. We've got wedding anniversaries, we've got 40th birthdays, we've got 50th birthdays. I think it was Jen that she made a list of all the events. I got when I looked at it, and I said, well, the most important one, thanks Jen, to all about the girl, is the 50th. And of course that was 2 or 3 years away, and I won't talk about the 50-year-olds or the 25th anniversary or all the rest of it, but they're all coming. And suddenly things started to come to a head. Jeff and Bobby had their 50th earlier this year in January, and we're up there, and it was a lovely event, happy event, and we came back, and about a month, we've got to do something, it's coming up, and we've talked about it, and but Jen straight off said, well, we'll have it at our place. Oh, that's good. Oh, yeah, that's good. It's at Jenny's place. And a couple of weeks later, well, what are we going to do? And this is March by this time, and we said, well, okay, we'll get outside caterers. And then said, well, we looked at it, June the 28th, middle of winter, we can't have it outside. Bobby had just lucky. They were able to put tables, they had a lovely day, it was all awesome, it was very pleasant. So I said, well, what do we do? So we would, like so many people, we would have liked to have invited so many people. There were nephews and cousins and Edwards, all the rest of it. So then Helen said, well, I want to sit down dinner. We had to argue for something that had been like 50 years. So we said, well, we'll have to sit down dinner. And we said, well, that restricts it straight away. So, well, we've had Christmas dinners and gatherings, and 19 of us sort of makes, it's been beautiful, but so well, the limit's about 28. So what do we do? Thanks. Yeah, well, we get it catered for, and I was starting to talk about fillet bags and cooking them and carrying them up, and so then what we'll do with them, the girls said, look, forget about it, leave it to us, we'll fix it. So
That we did.
the first time in our lives we have an organised thing. I didn't think the girls were capable. That must be growing up. We thought, well, what, since I tell you this, forget it. So we're worried about all the problems about the catering and they did. And eventually the girl said, look, we're going to fix it now. We don't want you to worry about a thing. We're still worried. But we didn't know what the rest of us said, look, we've got it all organised, don't worry. So we didn't worry. Then we said, well, the list. Who do we invite and who can't we invite? Well, normally, naturally, of course, we've got family, immediate family, they come first. And we've got to have brothers and sisters, and there are 2 sisters that, well, we could invite the 2 elders, that's special request. So that's why the numbers are fairly restricted, because of the catering. But at the same time, it fitted beautifully here tonight. But I must pay special mention to Jenny. They had organised everything from where to go. She's the liaison officer. The other girls gave a great assistance, but she's done a magnificent job by giving everything done.
That must be quite the much. We cannot fish it, dear. Love.
Yeah. I've always tried to keep it feel it. We try and pride ourselves on the fact that we don't find one or the other, irrespective of the fact that says it's in there. But,
I'll let it say it.
but you're all the apples of our eyes.
Thank you.
In response to the speeches tonight, it's in time to reply. He said, I didn't know I so good. But every word you said about Helen is true. She's the one that's happened. Men came up. Well, those days, women wouldn't take what the men did in the old days, about coming home and they're looking after the kids and all the rest of the women off to work, and it just wouldn't go on. But she has been absolutely magnificent. She's been my standby all these years. I've had my problems, ups and downs, but she's been as true and low, stuck by me right through. So eventually we came through. But getting back to a few of the specifics, Jim, on their wedding night, when these two blokes arrived, the two blokes were the same attendant for him.
Wasn't it? Only two got in.
Yeah, no, I didn't get in. I saw them arrive, they was full of dates. They pull up in the taxi, wave, and said, well, I said to Jim, let's get rid of them. I don't know what happened, but they disappeared. So,
They did get in.
did they? Yeah. Oh, that's all right.
Bob, short, looped.
Yeah, Rock and Brody looked after it, everything was all right.
I'll tell you what happened.
Yeah, but Major Jim Broadbent was a good mate.
Yeah.
But
Very assertive.
But apart from that, it was a wonderful night. And we did have great parents. Helen's parents, we couldn't meet too nice people, and I think we can say the same for our parents' people. And I'm certain that genes do carry on. Well, let's hope they do. Tough of mine, but we have got a great family. I'm very proud of we keep saying we are very proud of our girls and our grandchildren. We're so pleased that Kelly, Jane, Jeff, and Bobby, Chris, Graham, Kim Capital Interstate, the Disney, all the others, and Kim and Claire, of course, was Canberra. Quite. But it's a long way. It's a long way to go for a meal.
But not a bad meal.
But more than a meal, it's wonderful to have you all together. I don't know that Michael was so bad when he appeared on the scene. Michael Graham.
He had great shoelaces.
I think he had quite bad shoes. Anyway,
I've seen the badges.
yeah.
Particular.
I thought it was a hippie, but like they said, if you receive judgment, it pays off.
You trusted my judgment.
With Rob, well, there was a little occasion, there was a bloke, wasn't Rob, who was courting Elizabeth, and I wasn't next to case, but then that happens.
not real.
Well,
That was someone else.
Elizabeth said she sort of ready for that. I've come down to see him, and yeah, still, I said that. I said that's true. Then we sat there and did it for a while, and eventually I would do all the subjects. I don't know what I said, but
I can't remember either, but I knew what you meant.
yeah. I was carrying on with the play. Nice. So, and I think that there's one of the best things I ever did. Michael Carl, well, put the boy next door. And I won't go in there to the child stipulate.
That was short, Bob.
It's been for a while. And we're still going to have on Christmas Day, 80 years ago, Michael proved himself to be a man. He came in and knocked on the door to wish Susan happy Christmas.
No, Tudor, no, Tudor.
That was Susan, that.
Well, in this space, I knew that she found the right black hands. Well, I'll be getting it. Okay.
But tell you what, Bob, you're full of heart, mate.
Even though he goes to Brisbane, and with Ruby and Susan, well, that get me in trouble. Susan's ointment, the favourite one. We couldn't argue with Susan. The only one that went to a private school,
Thank you.
the only one that does this and does that.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, Sue. We still have you, and you'll still get away with it. You'll get away with it. But, no. Well, everything got so much better.
Well, I don't really want to deal with you, Sue.
But to see the grandchildren here tonight, it must be for a couple of old fogies for them to give up a Saturday night. They could be out of the town. That to me and to Helen was great. It was more pleasant, I think, to see the grandchildren here tonight with us than possibly anything else. Thank you all for your great kids. That's it. We hope to be round. We won't be round for the hundreds.
So do you know. The dreams.
But I think that our 10 years time when you all come up for your 50th, you'll say, oh gee, remember your parents, mum and dads? And I hope you do, just give us a thought. We'll be thinking of you whether we're up there or down there or whether it is. And we express our gratitude to each and every one of you to be here tonight, to thinking of us and for the love that you've given us. Everything that we've given to the kids has come back 1,000-fold. We don't expect words, but you've given them tonight, and we are grateful for that. We just love you all, and all of us are just one part of a big happy family, and I just want to thank you on behalf of myself for everything you've given us, everything you've given back, and for being here tonight to be with us. Thank you.
I'd now like to call
He was very Taliban.
That's best man of this. I'm trying to think the word. That's what, this magnificent spectacle was happened 50 years ago. Most of this job. Now, there was a telegram that I received. But this one of the duties that I performed at the wedding. And this telegram reads, "Welcome, Helen. Congratulations on your 50th wedding anniversary. From everyone here tonight, we love you. And congratulations." That's what it says there. Either reference,